Well, last week on Marina Queen Sailing, Karen and I sailed from Mission Bay back to San Diego. And this week, I'm gonna use this line to build a custom anchor bridle for Frog's Leap. Oh yeah, all that and more. It's happening right now. Stick around. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen out there. It's just a bunch of line really right now. I've done a little work to it and I'll talk about that, but so you can buy these bridles pre-made. Mantis sells them for about $240, I think. Rope retailers will put them together. Usually those run maybe around $150, $130 to $150. I bought this rope, but this is 5/8 3-strand nylon, $40. So let me spread this out and kind of show you where I'm at, and then we'll take the rope inside and we'll finish the bridle. All right, so there's the line as I've laid it out here. I've got the eyes already in here. And then you can see I've got these little lashings. So these are all lashings that kind of hold everything together up to here. And then this one, but this one's not. These two are just marking where I want to bring the legs together. And when we get back indoors, we're only going to be working with that side, because this side with the eyes are already done. At this mark right here, we're going to splice these two lines together. You can imagine this will be gone. And now you're just left with the thimble side. I'm going to show you how I do it. So here I'm just kind of gently creating some motion here and a little gap. These get melted together, but the bond between them's not strong, so they'll come right apart like this. Okay, and that's about as far as I want to let them go at this point. Now I put in the constrictor knots at the ends of these so that the ends of these are workable. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through the constrictor knot part. So the constrictor knot, here we go. When I get done tying the constrictor knot, I'll make it off by just cutting the ends of the knot, maybe 1/4 of an inch from the end, and then melting the string onto itself. Okay, so now I can work these individual strands. So this is a strand, this is a strand, and this is a strand. Each strand is composed of yarns. You can see each yarn in here. Each yarn is composed of nylon threads that are the length of the rope. So that's where it gets its elasticity and strength. You know, if you weave a splice into a line like this, maybe it loses 10% of its strength. You tie a bowline in this line and it loses like 30. So they're still superior. So as this lays here, we have a top strand, and you can see there's a top strand here. The basic braiding formula is over 1 under 1. And what I love about these fids is we'll twist against those strands. I'm going to take this small one in here. You only have to get the small fit in first, then you push the bigger fit in, then you push the bigger still fit in, right? So basically the idea here with these fits, they're hollow and you just slide the thread in there like this. Super cool. So I can pull this straight out, so you'll see how nice and smooth that it is then to pull it through. Yeah, perfect. That is perfect. This one, okay, is going to wrap around this way. See, that brings the two together. If you do it correctly, the two blues will line up. What I'm going to be doing now is I have to twist this because this one's going to go over this strand and under this strand. And now we're going to take this one through here. And it's exactly the same thing. I'm feeding it in. And we're already through. Because the most critical part on this thing is getting it through cleanly. So now we've got two in. This one here is the first tuck on this strand. This is the first tuck on the second strand. And now we're going to do the last strand. So I'm going to pull it out. While this one here went this way, this one goes the other way. Yeah, I do love these hollow fids, and they're short. It's almost like they're made perfectly for working with 3-strand nylon. 3-strand anything, but of this size too, right? Okay. Now we have the 3-headed monster right at the junction. And so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get that nice and tight. So, because this one's really important, you know, this one brings the legs together. So we want it to be nice and tight. Oh yeah, that is fantastic. We will fast forward through this as I try to punch through as many tucks as I can handle. Okay, well, there we are with a taper. It's just boom, 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 you know, one after another on the taper. Just gonna tighten them up one more time and then cut those. We'll call that a tuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tucks. Obviously, the more you can get, the better. So I'm gonna cut these. I don't really treat them. I just let them be fuzzy, but I try to give them about an inch, because if you give them too little, they'll come out and then you end up with one less tuck. It's not the end of the world, but it happens. There we go. So the join has happened. Very nice. So now I'm gonna splice in this nylon thimble over here. And I've went ahead and added the constrictor knots as I did before. I also added some that'll be on either side of the thimble to help keep the rope solid right here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Fid set is so perfectly sized for this size of strand, really. I think that's the thing that cracks me up. Just how lucky I got. It was the first fid set that I bought at North 40 Outfitters. Yeah, that's pretty tight. Nice. Okay, so I don't know, I call this the three-headed monster because because once you're here, you know, you've got the three strands coming off, and it's really easy then to braid it up here. So again, I think I'm just gonna put this on fast forward and whip this braid out. Yeah, that's the way a tapered end should look, coming down in a line. They just come down in a line like that. So that is a properly tapered three-strand. Now I will just, again, cut these off with about an inch to play. And that usually will, you know, prevent them from backing out, especially if you have a tight knot. And you notice I did work pretty hard to make sure that knot was tied tight. Should that be in that one? Those should be fine. I've got it laid out here on the grass. I'm pretty happy with it. So I started out with 40 feet of 5/8 three-strand nylon, and now I've got a anchor bridle, 16 feet long, 12 feet on the legs, with a 4-foot pendant. I really like it. I'm looking forward to trying it out. Thanks for watching this episode of Marina Queen. Don't forget to subscribe, like, freak out, do some jumping jacks. Yeah, do it all, man. I'll see you next week on the boat. For real-time updates, check out @Marina Queen Sailing on Instagram.